1906, it was the first open-air market in St. Petersburg. In 1930, it was bought by the American Legion, and it was used for wrestling, an armory, and for home shows. Then in 1940, it was sold to Coca-Cola, and it was made in this building. Yeah, it was made into a bottling plant. In 1966, the family that owned Sunken Gardens decided that they wanted to have a big opening on 4th Street, because before that they were having little tiny places to get in and out of the garden. So they bought the building, and they created on 4th Street itself, right in front of the parking area where we came in, a thing called a King of Kings exhibit. So what would happen is you would go over a bridge, and then you would see King of Kings, and you go into the building, and it was wax life-size figures of Christ's life. So you had to walk through all of that, and then once you got through that, then you would go into the world's largest gift store. So now,
Tchotchke.
yeah.
I like it much better now.
Now we have this tiny gift store. Then up on top we have a huge meeting area that sometimes is used for weddings and things like that. And then over that way is Great Explorations, the Children's Museum, and to the left of that is Carrabba's. And it's now been around in 1999. It was put on the National Register of Historic Places.
Wow.
1999,
1999.
National Register.
Yeah.
Are these palm trees?
These are palm trees. I'm going to talk to you about them as we go through the channel.
Palm trees.
I know. Well, come on.
And we have taller ones.
The taller one.
So how long did they live?
A really long time.
Forever.
I came here and they had a whole movie about the whole history of it. Where is it? Well, we had a history center, and it has videos and all sorts of things.
where
you
is
can
that?
watch. You just keep going around, and it's way off in that direction. And you'll see signage that says history center.
Okay, so
Keep going
the
that
history
way.
center that way. Okay, thank you.
Sometimes people come back.
Clumping. That means that it all stays in one place. If you've ever planted bamboo in your yard, it will spread everywhere and be really hard to maintain. So all of our bamboo here in Sunken Gardens is clumping bamboo.
Clumpings, timber, bamboo.
Clumping, right, timber bamboo. And bamboo is now used for flooring, clothing, and every child's favorite, pandas. Pandas would keep a lot of bamboo. But we don't have any pandas here. We do have a lot of parrots. This is the first one. This is an Amazon parrot, and it's named Bobby Sue. You can see it's green, gold on top. Parrots can live as long as 80 years. All of our parrots are rehomed. That means that they had another owner. Hi. This is my family. I'm giving them a little dose of joy. And her family used to own Sunken
You know
Garden.
about me already.
So,
Our sister-in-law, we're from Utah.
yeah.
Fun. Oh, I love Utah. I love that area.
Yeah. So are you going to be at the History Center?
I am, and there's some kids coming in.
Okay.
So I'm just going to kind of be stationed near the flamingos to,
Okay. To watch the children?
yeah, just kind of guard the door to the History Center. That's what I think I'm doing.
Okay.
Oh, enjoy. That's so fun.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day to be here.
Perfect.
The green means they're cycads. Cycads mean that this particular plant was found in fossils and lived in the dinosaur era. So as you walk around, you'll see the signs, and it helps this docent to remember a lot of the plants because there's so many plants.
So if it's a green sign, it lives in the green.
Yeah,
Wow.
see black sign
Versus the black.
versus the black. In 1902, George Turner lived in Jacksonville. He was a plumber, and he saw in the paper in Jacksonville that the city of St. Petersburg was looking for tradesmen because it was growing so fast. So he decided to move to St. Petersburg. So he came to St. Petersburg, and then he met his wife Eula in 1906. She was a member of the Blanton family, which is considered a pioneer family here in St. Petersburg. There's even a school, elementary school, called Blanton Elementary. Her father owned an orchard, and George thought it might be great to have his own orchard. So he and Eula decided to buy 4.1 acres to have their own orchard. And he bought that in 1911 on his 30th birthday, which is Valentine's Day. One of the first things he planted in his orchard were Cuban royal palms from seed.
Is that what
So
this
he,
is?
so he planted these in 1911. Now you're looking, you're going, wow, it's so tall.
It really is.
This is not the tallest tree.
Oh.
Palms are not the tallest tree, so we'll see one farther in that is even taller than this. Now, when he was getting ready to plant his fruit trees, he saw this very big pond in the middle of his land. And he thought, I'm going to empty the pond because the soil at the bottom is going to be very rich, and I'm going to use it in my plantings. So being a plumber, he put clay pipes down and drained the pond and found that it was 15 feet deep because it was a sinkhole.
So it is called the Sunken Garden because it's built originally in a sinkhole, and the sinkhole was 15 feet deep. So as we go through this, it will be consistently going down until we want to get out.
Okay, come this way.
So, yeah, these are the original palms from 1911.
Now we're always adding the garden. This is one of the new additions that we added a couple of years ago. It's
So it opens at 10 a.m. in the morning.
now
It's $12 for seniors.
is because the palm frond comes up and then drops down, and you can't see the trunk of the tree, and it looks like a petticoat. Now, when I'm doing a tour with kids, I will tell them it's a petticoat palm, and they won't know what a petticoat is. So I will have to explain to them about a petticoat palm.
You are having so much fun, dear.
Abby, throughout the season, different things are blooming, and right now the ginger's starting to bloom. This is ginger.
This is ginger.
This is ginger.
The spice. Yep. Wow.
Another new addition, new palm, is called the old man palm with the beard.
I would call it the it palm. Remember Cousin It?
Yes. And the way this one grows is as it gets taller, his beard is going to get longer and longer.
Okay.
I would call it the
Man
Cousin
palm.
It.
Now, originally, the Turners lived on the south side of St. Petersburg, and he was starting to use his fruit, and he had a fruit stand, and he was selling his fruit from a little fruit stand out on 18th Avenue. And then in the Depression, he was having a hard time with his plumbing business, so they sold the house on the south side, and he built a house in 1930 here in this garden, and it was right here. I'll show you a picture. Yeah, here you can see a picture of it. Look at the size of the tree.
Yes. This is the tree. Oh my God.
Is this open at night?
No, it closes at 4. Well, parties are here at night.
Oh, okay. Because I
Weddings
was
are
looking
here
at the
at night.
lights. Thank you.
Yeah. So he built the house here. They had 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. And the house was here at this tree. This is a southern live oak. It is over 200 years old. It has all these plants on it, and they are all epiphytes. That means they are air plants. They do not hurt the tree. Now, southern live oak was used in the 1800s in the American warships. There is still a warship floating that has southern live oak in it, and it's Old Ironsides or U.S. Constitution. The story is that cannonballs would bounce off the side of Old Ironsides, and that's why it was called that, the British cannonballs. So a couple of years ago, I saw a video done by the Smithsonian Museum where they built two panels. One panel was built exactly like a British warship with the wood that a British warship would use. The other was with the wood like Old Ironsides, southern live oak. Then they shot cannonballs at the tube to see what would happen. When they shot cannonballs at the British, the cannonballs went right through it. When they shot cannonballs at Old Ironsides type of wood, the cannonball stopped on the outside and just stuck there. Never went in. Visiting for the day too. And they had paths that they created, and the beautiful bridges that you're going to see. All of this was done by the Turner family, and you have to remember that Mr. Turner was a plumber. He was not a landscape architect. So he did this, and when his sons got old enough, they would help him build the things that you see here at the garden. So we eventually bought the garden, and we decided we were down to two Chilean flamingos. So we decided to try and find some more flamingos.
All right.
I'm giving my family a tour.
A walking what?
Palm.
No.
Walking palm. It's called
A walking palm.
It's
Okay.
also called a screw pine. Screw pine. But anyway, it has fruit, and you can see a little bit of the fruit up there still left. The squirrels have eaten it. It has fruit that looks just like a pineapple, but it's brown. People try and eat it. It's terrible. This used to be the entrance to Sunken Gardens behind us. This little, and then they decided they wanted to have a big building. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go work our way.
So the Sunken Gardens History Center.
So the Turners used to have very colorful paths. So we're creating them. They're now very faded.
You need a bird and you need a plant.
So how many water features do you have?
All over, and they were all done by the Turners.
Well, he is a plumber.
Yeah, he used clay pipes for absolutely everything. We eventually had to get rid of them because they were leaking.
Sure.
So this is what the original entrance looked like. It was called Sunken Gardens. Now, they didn't open it up to the public until the 1940s. And then it was 1940, and then it was only seasonal. Before that, in 1934 through 36, they opened it up to their family and friends, and Eula was actively trying to get people to have parties here between 1934 and 36. And they added more paths. The upper ridge, 3/4 of a mile of paths are now available, and right now we're on the upper ridge, the high part of Sunken Gardens. George on our wedding day, sitting on a bench together. She took up watercolor, and this is one of her paintings. And here's George with one of his grandsons here in the garden. And there they are in the garden. They lived in the garden, so the kids, it was their backyard. They're constantly playing, riding their bikes, running with their dog in the garden. But they also had help in the garden.
So they get a lot of individual here.
So there's the original fruit stand. He used to sell papayas from it, and that's what he used to make change. And then over here, you can see the sanitary public market that I told you about. Look how big it was. And then over here, you can see that this is about frost. That's our biggest problem, is when it gets into the 30s. We have to cover up the flowers and the plants. They used to use smudge ponds, but we don't do that anymore because it's so expensive to do that. So we have like special plant blankets that sometimes we put out when it's really, really cold. And the Turners had a thermometer right outside their house they would stare at, and they had an alarm that would go off in their house when it got too cold so that they could go out and try and take care of their plants. And here you so that means they do not use soil. So they are clever orchid people and attached. Beautiful things. Closed it for a year to refurbish it because the Turners had sold all the birds except for a couple of flamingos and some of the macaws. They've gotten rid of a lot of things. Okay.
15 years old, but still the tallest.
Yeah, we had a eucalyptus in our yard.
This is the lowest part.
So we're minus 15 from street level right here.
Yep.
The lowest part of the garden.
Getting back up.
A yellow shrimp plant. Yes, I am.
Can we listen?
Sure. Oh,
Yes,
excuse me.
thank
Yeah,
you.
you can listen.
Thank you.
And you can see how faded the stones are.
We're gonna join you.
This is the tallest waterfall in the garden. Again, you've got to remember that probably the two Turner sons, built this waterfall from chicken wire, concrete, and soap detergent. They made this very tall waterfall. And all the plants that are going up the side, bird's nest fern, some bromeliads, they're all epiphytes. They do not need dirt to grow in. And here's one of the bromeliads blooming right here. Like 30 to 40 years and weigh up to 20 pounds. The most expensive recently sold because it was pregnant for $1.8 million. They usually go for $8,000. They are members of the carp family, so that means when they breed, oh, and you can really see the Chinese lantern here. When they breed, they can be all gray and become a carp, or they can become a beautiful koi. You never know what you're going to get. They're also a distant relative family of the goldfish. And this is again a famous sign. Yeah, I have pictures of the boys getting bigger and bigger in front of it.
So you can secure the place for weddings if you're interested in doing a wedding. Nice pavilion tent out here. AstroTurf. It's all good. The Sunken Gardens Bridge over the koi pond. What can be more Florida during the Depression in the 40s.
It's also used in rubber.
So our docent here who's giving us this great information is my older sister Charnel. That's my wife Janet, and she's going to give you the information that we need to know if you'd like to come down here and see the Sunken Gardens if you're in the area.
Sunken Gardens is a very old garden, and it opened to the public in the 1940s, and it's open every day of the year. Most of the time it's open from 10 till 4, but on Sundays it's open from noon until 4. We have our own website called Sunken Gardens, just grouped together, small letters, sunkengardens.org. ORG, and you can get all sorts of information about our wonderful garden, and I hope you'll come and visit.
Hey, well, thanks for the tour, Char.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.